Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to the jungle. Certainly looks like one, don't it? How's that for opening shot, by the way? Not bad. Wildflowers, rain, not too bad. Very wet. In case you're curious, your TV speakers are fine. It's just kind of drippy here. It's been raining, but we don't care. It's time for a little adventure, and you gotta expect a little rain from time to time, right? Anyhow, I am in my favorite primitive camping spot again. I call this little place Catfish Camp. Some of y'all may remember it, but it's a great little spot in all four seasons: winter, summer, and spring and fall too, especially fall. Anyway, pretty nice though, isn't it? Looks very, very, very lush. It looks like a jungle, if you ask me. I mean, it straight up looks like a jungle. Okay, yeah, that looks good. It rained on me coming up, y'all. I was 20 minutes from the house. It rained like 10 or 15 minutes, and it quit 20 minutes ago. And I've been, kind of hanging out, letting the canopy quit dripping. It's still raining here. Out in the open, it quit raining 20 minutes ago. But right here, it's still raining. So, yeah. Killed a few minutes, kind of hung out, plotted what I wanted to do, how, set it all up. But I've got some pretty good plans, I think. And hopefully, you guys will like this video today. I've got some good plans. I brought me a teepee tent, and we'll set him up right here. And I'm going to try to make me a giant burger later. And doing some cleanup here on my little catfish camp. Let's see. We got wet coming in. I didn't have the tarp on. I had it folded up like an idiot. Should have had it on there. I got my saw wet. And I think I got my bedding wet a little bit. I had a waterproof one at home, but didn't use it. That's a regular, it's a military duffel. Grabbed the regular one. Got a waterproof one. Had it right beside of it. Didn't grab it. But that's all right. I do believe that looks a little bit more like a proper campsite. Got my Starlink back here on the down tree trunk. Got my tent set up. Firewood ready. Got me a little fire pit, some rocks around it. Got me some wood ready to go. Got all of my grass cut and all of the work part done. All the setup, the moving this and that, and y'all look over my tent. I didn't know it was like that. I knew I had a bunch of sand in the bottom, and I knew that I had kind of put it up a little bit wet the last time I used it. I didn't really count on the two ganging up, to be honest. Here we are though. Oh well, looks like we're in the market for a new teepee tent real soon. Oh well. But cleared the path all the way down through there, in case you want to, go for a little walk. That's the path down to my fishing hole. So I figured I'd go ahead and run down through there. Looks pretty decent, don't it? Looks very jungly. I mean, it's broad daylight, the sun's out, but it's dark down in here. It's not very bright. A little bit more jungly than even I thought it would be. Good thing I cleaned it up though. You wouldn't have, if all that other trash, from the flood. We had a flood in the spring, and I cleaned this up right after the flood. If I hadn't done it, you wouldn't have been able to get in here. All them weeds and stuff. But we got it. We're in there. And I got my table all set up. Got me some, look at the size of those burgers. Look how thick those things are. Excuse me. Fix the burgers on the grill here. And I've got some mushrooms and butter. Saute those up real good. Got some cheese here, and what is that? Cheddar too. We may throw those cheddar. Why not? But that should be pretty good. Check this out. My brother-in-law, Heather's brother Steve, sent me this. Look at that. Is that not pretty? That is very pretty. Thank you, Steve. Very pretty. Look at that. The dinner knife. My new dinner knife, y'all. Alright, get back in there. Thing's sharp, too. Okay. But anyway, I went out through here. I left my flower bed. I thought it looked nice. It was pretty. So I left all the flowers and just cut in here. You know, just enough to turn. The trail goes on around. There's an old trail here. You can see it right through there. Goes on around, but I didn't bother with any of that. I thought that was the yellow tiger lilies. I can remember seeing this, you know, in the spring, you know, all the little flowers and stuff when I was down here, the flags. But there weren't any flowers on it then. Looks like I've missed, you know, the peak flower season. But we caught the tail end of it anyway. They're great big pink ones. I think I may come down here this fall and get some of those, take those home. I've got some yellow and black tiger lilies at home. Put that in between them. Big old section. That's 40 foot long, about 10, 15 foot wide of just those. Not real sure what they are. I mean, if they were the yellow ones, I would say tiger lilies, obviously. But maybe somebody knows a little bit more about flowers than me. They're cute, yeah. That's about the extent of my knowledge here. They're cute. But yeah, that looks pretty decent, don't it? Nice cover overhead. Little hole just back right in there and set your tent up. Should have plenty of firewood too. It's all over the place. Down stuff all here, there, everywhere you look. Not too hot though. Nice and cool down here. Little breeze blowing. You see the leaves moving. Bugs and birds and all kinds of stuff. Deer. I startled a big doe. I was going out through there earlier. You know how they'll grunt when you get up on a puff, you know, take off running. I mean, it was like, it waited till I was like 6 feet away, right over through here somewhere, and jumped up and did that. And I believe it scared the crap out of both of us, I do believe. But she took off down through that way. Well, that looks pretty good already, huh? And we're not even done yet. Got my mushrooms and some butter. Gotta have them kind of low. Butter will scorch on you really easy. And just a little bit more. Don't want to burn them. And these just turned. Some people say you should never smush them. Some people say you should. I like to just keep them level. Right in the middle. So far so good though. Everything seems to be working out pretty well. Got my fire ready for later. Got any wood. Sun's moving on. It's over here. It looks like I've probably got about 3 or 4 hours before it gets dark. So yeah, just kick back and enjoy a little bit. Sitting around barbecuing. Well, not barbecuing, fixing burgers. Same diff, right? Yeah, there we go. Just turn them both off, and it's time to put stuff together. Cheddar. And we're going to double that up. Guys, what do y'all think? That's some mean looking burgers, ain't it? What is that? 3-4 inches tall, something like that, give or take. That is a good looking burger, if I may say so myself. Alright, I need a picture of this. I'll be right back. Look at that cheese just melt. Look at that. Here we go. First bite. That is divine. That is really good. That is really good. Cheddar and sauteed mushrooms. Look at that. Sauteed in butter. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Nothing crazy. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Look at that. It's trying to run off of there. Where are you going? Where are you going? Look at that. Cheese covered mushroom. Well guys, I'll just tell y'all, I don't know if that burger, those burgers were really that good, or if I was maybe just starving to death, but that was out of this world delicious. It really was. Now watch this thing, it'll tip on you if you ain't careful. Get me some coffee. It's supposed to be like 65 tonight, so, you know, be nice and cool. Have me a little fire later. Well, it's officially sunset. The sun has gone behind the mountain over there on the other side of the river, and it is about to get extra dark. But yeah, the morning was nice, got everything done and cleaned up real nice and pretty, and you know, cleaned out around the flowers and everything. And afternoon, you know, hung out, watched TV, music, you know, had Pandora on and Aerosmith, all kinds of junk, just getting it. And then afternoon, you know, burgers, and yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. But I'll be honest, the evening is pretty much my favorite time. And, you know, doing something like this, you know, kind of primitive camping. I just like the evening, you know, the campfire. Well, I got all the light on now. It is dark. Look up there, you can barely see the moon. Right there, right over top of the tent. Just through a little hole in the trees. See the clouds passing in front of it. Very cool night. Well, not cool in the cold sense. It's like 70, 68. I think it's supposed to get like 65 tonight. But it's really nice right now. Just kind of hanging out, playing with my fire. Watching TV for a little while. I was watching Journey to the Center of the Earth. It every now and then it buffered, but I think it buffered like 3 times through the whole movie. So that's not too bad. I can live with that. I can live with that. But yeah, everything else is going really well. No problems. Feels really good out here tonight. You know, it's been miserable hot. But you know, y'all know that. You've been in it too, you know. But it is nice to cool down just a little bit. That is for sure. A good seat right here. Watch your fire. Watch TV. You got some coffee sitting right here. Yeah, this'll work. That'll work. Alright, I guess I'm gonna get off here and get back to enjoying my evening. Just thought I'd, you know, update just a little bit. Got all, like I said, got all my lights on, and not really sure how well the GoPro is showing it, but yeah, let's see. I think I got another one in my pocket. Yeah. That's better. Very nice. Nice little campsite. Very homey. Very comfy feeling. Haven't heard any Bigfoots or, you know, panthers or anything. So, few owls. That moon looks really cool. I'm sure that the GoPro ain't catching it worth a nickel, but it looks really cool through that little gap in the trees. Good morning. It's about 9 a.m. I think I just checked a minute ago. It's about 9. And it is ridiculously nice out here today. It's about 70 right now, I think. But after what was it, 3-4 weeks of 95 plus, 70 sounds pretty good in the morning, don't it? But yeah, it's nice and cool out here, and I slept like a baby. I stayed up a little bit late, 12:30, not real late, but you know what I mean. Just kind of hanging out by the fire, just enjoying it, roll with it and enjoy it. But it was really nice. I love this stuff, the primitive. I like campgrounds, don't get me wrong, I like campgrounds. But just to go out in the middle of nowhere and set up shop somewhere, set you up a little house, and there's just something really cool about it. You enjoy it a little bit more because you had to work for it a little bit more. Maybe that's part of it, but there's just something about it, and it's just such a pretty little campsite too. Check this out, the little fire pit. That thing worked great. Everything, you can see everything stayed inside the rocks really well, no problem. Which it had wet dirt, all the way around it. Not like, it was going to get away or anything. It was surrounded by wet dirt. The train off in the distance, birds, crickets, crows been going crazy all morning. They've had them a good morning. I don't blame them. I was a crow, I could fly and I could eat garbage, I'd probably do it too. Let's go see if we can just kind of look around just a little bit. We ain't went nowhere yet. We've been kind of hanging out at the campsite since we got here. Well, I have. I've went walking 2 or 3 times, but I didn't take the camera. There's a lot of deer here. You can see there's game trails all over the place. I just walked by some tracks right here. Just happened to notice those as I was coming down. There's a set. And the big doe I startled yesterday. She was asleep. I walked up on her, that big puff. Scared that crap out of both of us. You can hear the railroads working on something, you know, gravel over on the other side of the river. Should be able to see it here just in a minute. Well, see the river and, you know, the other side and stuff. There's the river. And there's the other side and stuff. And all this trimmed. But that's what it does, right? And it grows back up. It won't be long though, frost will get it. That turned into a nice fishing hole. Look at that. Those trees on the outside, and the sand is filling in behind the trees, making a little island. Oh well, sandbank, a shore. And that is nice. We got lucky there. Let's see, I don't know if I want to go all the way down. Yeah, why not? We're already here. Let's go check out the fishing hole. House shoes or not. Just gotta, like I said, really watch your step in the weeds. Vines underneath it. Right here. That thing would just love to trip me and send me sailing down through there. It would just love that. I'm getting my house shoes wet and the grass is damp. Bugs are out in force already, I can tell you that. Oh wow. We got a nice beach down here. I kind of had a feeling this was going to turn into something nice. This is my catfish spot. This is it. Wow, little kudzu spot right here. Get through that stuff. Oh yeah, I can live with that. That's a nice little bank. That's my catfish hole right there. I called this one, well, there's a little spot right back up there I call Catfish Camp. And it's the one that got messed up. Made one right here, and then a massive tree fell right where the tent would go. And then when the river flooded, the tree's gone, but now the spot's all. So, oh well, all that worked for nothing. But that would have been a good one, wouldn't it? Right on the water. You know, probably wouldn't take a whole lot, would it? Fix something up. That is really pretty though, ain't it? All of the work that I wanted to get done today, or this trip, is done. And a little bit extra. I went further than I intended. And the road, I cut this part out to where you can't see it from the main road. You know, the spots where you can see from the main road, I went right up to it and stopped just before that spot. You have to know where it's at already to find it. It's one of those spots. You can't find it if you don't already know where it's at. Okay, well, I guess that's the tour of the campsite. Well, not really. There's a whole bunch that way, that way, that way. Never mind. Not the whole tour. It's a tour of this part of the campsite. Anyway, I'm going to chill out and have the rest of my coffee. And like I said, relax and just kind of soak it up while I can. I've got a few more hours. Few fleeting hours to enjoy it. Have to pack it all up and head on out. And check this out, y'all. I was just taking some pictures. You know, just goofing off with the phone, taking some pictures. And happened to step back here and snap one. Look what a pretty view that is. Check that out. Hang on. Right about here. Now, is that not pretty? I mean, as pretty as it was when I first got here, I think it looks better. I think it's an improvement. That looks really pretty. I hope it looks as good on camera as it does standing here. You know, it's just kind of one of those take your breath kind of things. You know what I'm saying? It's really pretty. Of course, don't turn around. Yeah, that's directly behind you. So yeah, you probably don't want to turn around too much. Once you ground, this is deer territory and some snaky territory and a whole bunch of other little woodland Watsits live in here. We'll see where the deer are going. When the deer and the antelope roam, this is it. Except for the antelope, they don't really roam too much here. So you can see the old foundation, the cinder block wall. All of this part has fell over. That's still there. It's buried. Goes over that way. That was somebody's basement 100 years ago. Okay, 70, 80, well, maybe 100. And you can see what's left of what looks like a 2-car garage over here. Don't look like I'm gonna be able to get close enough to it to show it to you that well, but you get the point. 2-car garage. Just the cinder block. Everything else is washed away. Alright, let's follow our little game trail back to camp. You see it? Sometimes they're easy to lose. The game trail's real easy to lose. It's faint. They can be very faint when you're out here. But they are there. You probably goof around and see where this one comes out. They're going down to the water. Going down to the river to get water. Deer live an interesting life, don't they? You can't take no water home. Every day you have to go get it. Go get a drink, one drink, and then go home. Go all the way back next time you want to drink. Back to camp. We did a little bit of exploring this morning. And a little bit yesterday too. So yeah. Got in a little bit of exercise, we'll call it. Yeah. Cardio or something. I like that. That just looks, you see a fire pit that's, you know, all burned. Somebody had a good time, you know? You just know someone enjoyed it, right? Been a great little trip though. Just one night, you know, but it's been a really good one. I was thinking a little while ago, it rained on me on the way in. It rained pretty hard. You know, 20-minute trip, it probably rained a good 10, you know, hard. Completely forgot about that rain. Was just thinking it was just completely out of my mind. You know, all the good stuff, you know, the hanging out and the campfire and the big burgers, and it looks like I've accomplished everything that I came here to do. You know, got the weeds cleaned up and had me a really good little adventure. You know, had a good time doing it. Yeah, just next time y'all have to cut your grass, instead of just going out to cut the grass, put a tent out there, spend the night, then cut the grass. See if it don't make it more of an adventure. I bet it will. I got everything packed in, got it all locked in as tight as I can. We should be good to go. Should be. Famous last words, right? Been a nice little trip. Check this out though. The weeds, the path. than it was. It was deep, deep weeds. Now it's almost like a trail. Bad spot right here. Look at that. See what I mean? If you don't know where it's at, you can't find it. One of those situations. Alright guys, I'm gonna get on out of here, I suppose, and head on to the house. But anyway guys, thank y'all for coming along with me and, you know, sharing a little trip with me. It kind of felt like you were really there. You know, kind of get used to the camera being in your hand. But, you know, it's like you got a whole bunch of people with you, even if you are by yourself. It makes it a little bit more fun. Somebody to talk to. Anyway, alright guys, we will see y'all next time. Y'all have a really good day. Thank you for watching, and Leo out. Later.